and Rebecca reunion. Kyros versus Diamante and Trafalgar Law is finally free. This week's episode of One Piece was freaking legendary. One of my favorite episodes from the entire Dressrosa arc, which did more than justice to the manga series. The battle between Kyros and Diamante was freaking incredible and featured some amazing choreography and just reinforced the fact yet again that Kyros is the baddest mother of the Dressrosa arc. No special powers, just his muscle, his swords, and he's still missing a leg, and he is still dominating Diamante in this week's amazingly memorable episode. It all opened up with Rebecca, who's being defeated by Diamante. She finds the key for Trafalgar Law's cuffs and decides to go after them and make a quick escape, and then suddenly she's about to be killed by Diamante when Kyros shows up, and oh my god, is his entrance beyond badass. This combined with the animation, the artwork, the amazing fighting sword choreography, and the incredible setting for this battle in the middle of this giant sunflower field makes this one of the most memorable and distinct battles I've seen in the entire series thus far. It stands on its own, and it's definitely one of my favorite episodes from Dressrosa arc, and one of the better action episodes that I have seen in quite some time. And even Diamante, just the way they animate his devil fruit abilities are so devastatingly crazy, especially when he attacks Rebecca for the very first time. The reunion between Rebecca and Kyros is also handled really well, and I'm not gonna lie, it got me pretty misty-eyed, and what I really love about these characters is that I genuinely care about them. I'm just as interested in their story as I am in all of the other ones, and Luffy versus Doflamingo and all that jazz. That's how much I love these side characters so much. And I really love Rebecca after this episode. I still think there's a small possibility she could join the Straw Hat crew, maybe as like a trainee. She has a lot to learn, but I want to see more from this character and what she's truly capable of. And then, of course, there's just Kyros. Dude's awesome. Freaking balls to the wall awesome. I love me some Kyros. But let's not forget Luffy and Law this week. Their entrance is amazing because they're running up Bartolomeo's staircase and they're being attacked by all of these giant nutcrackers, which are using these stock Gundam sound effects, which I think is pretty awesome. And there's this great scene where Luffy jumps off one of their heads and this other one is getting ready to chomp down on both Luffy and Trafalgar Law, and he reaches down, grabs the key, they're swallowed, and while they're inside of the nutcracker, they undo the cuffs and Trafalgar Law uses his room abilities to cut up the nutcracker. It's an amazing entrance. This is all followed by them getting ready to go and fight Doflamingo. Something that might seem a little cliche at this point in the anime series is every single time Luffy mentions that he's going to be the king of the pirates, but something about the way it was handled in this week's episode just gave me massive goosebumps. It's the type of thing that One Piece fans I think are really going to dig. I especially loved his reunion with Rebecca and how he said his actual name was Luffy and not Lucy. Just so freaking awesome. I even love that they even escaped from Diamante's attacks thanks to, of course, Trafalgar Law and his abilities, which not only that, but his surgical skills are amazing. He's actually able to remove the bullets from his body, but all is not well. They are about to be attacked by a very crazed Sugar. What's gonna happen? We're gonna have to watch to find out. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of One Piece? Freaking legendary. This is one of my favorite episodes of the entire series, period. And that really surprises me because a lot of it focused on the side characters of the actual arc, and that's something that One Piece is really good at because pretty much every single arc always introduces these side characters that the Straw Hat Pirates end up working with, and sometimes it can be hit or miss, but everyone in Dressrosa arc, I really care about their stories and I want to see how they're going to develop, and Kyros' battle with Diamante was just handled so well. It was so intense and hard-hitting, impact behind every single attack, and that one scene where he just goes crazy and he's jumping around with one freaking leg! Yes! And the scene where Law actually gets out of his handcuffs was handled really well. The entire episode looked great. On the technical side of things, animation, artwork, this was a high-quality episode of One Piece. I really wish every episode could be like this. It's just not gonna work, though. Even Diamante, he's just such an expressive and ridiculous-looking villain, and they still managed to make him intimidating and hard-hitting all at the same time. I can't wait to see more of the battle between these two characters, and I really hope that the later portions of their battle can actually live up to what we've seen here, because because this actually exceeded my expectations. I had no idea they were going to make it look this good, because reading it in the manga is just, you know, you never really know what it's going to look like in anime form, but this episode completely did it justice on all fronts. Pacing, animation, artwork, freaking just atmosphere. The whole sunflower field is one of the most distinct battlegrounds I've ever seen from the series, and I will never forget it. It's so awesome. And so was this week's amazing episode of One Piece, which you should definitely check out if you're a fan of the series. If you're watching the anime or reading the manga, check this one out. It's pretty freaking awesome. I'm gonna give this week's episode a 5 out of 5. I loved it. One of my favorite episodes of the entire Dressrosa arc. So I love this episode a lot, but what about you guys? Did you watch this week's episode of One Piece? Did you have a favorite scene? Did you like the reunion between Kyros and Rebecca? What about Kyros versus Diamante? And what do you want to see from the rest of the Dressrosa arc? Please tell me in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching my review. Make sure to like it and share it with all of your friends. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!